So this is the slope quiz number 1. So let's go ahead and get started with problem number 1. So here you have 2 points, 3, 2, and 4, 5. And we're asked to find the slope or the relationship between these 2 points. The first thing is first you need to label these 2 points. So I always go left to right, so I'm going to make 3, 2 my first point. So 3 will be x1, 2 will be y1, and then 4, 5 will be my second point. So 4 will be x2 and 5 will be y2. And we're going to plug it into the formula, which is, which is slope equals 2 y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So now that we have everything set up, it's just plugging it in. So slope is simply going to be 5 minus 2 over 4 minus 3, which is just 3 over 1. And I do want you to keep this as a fraction. Don't just, I know 3 over 1 is 3, but keep it as a fraction for slope purposes. Now, how do we interpret this? Well, the top number, the numerator, is the up-down, and positive is up. So it is up 3. The bottom number, the denominator, is left-right, and positive is right. So it's going to be to the right 1. So to get from one point to the next, you go up 3 to the right 1. So that is number 1. For number 2, you have 2 points again. You have negative 2, 1, and you have 3, 5. Again, let's label the points. x1, y1, x2, y2. And we're going to plug it into the same formula. So slope is going to be y2, which is 5, minus y1, which is 1, all over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is a negative 2. So it's going to be 3 minus a negative 2, so double negative, which means it's going to be 5 minus 1 over 3 plus 2, which is going to be 4 over 5. How do we interpret this? The top number is up, down again. So positive is up, so it'll be up 4. The bottom number is left, right. Positive to right, so it's going to be to the right 5. So to get from the first point, negative 2, 1, to the next point, 3, 5, you go up 4 to the right 5. So that is numbers 1 and 2. I'm going to go pause this if you need to. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to set up for number 3. All right, for number 3, the 2 points are negative 1, negative 3, and 4, 11. Again, same thing, plug it into the slope formula. So it's going to be y2, which is 11, minus y1, which is negative 3. So it'll be 11 minus a negative 3. And then x2, which is 4, minus x1. So it'll be 4 minus a negative 1. So again, that double negative. So that's going to be 11 plus 3 over 4 plus 1, which ends up being just 14 over 5. And how do we read that? Again, it's going to be up 14 to the right 5. Because the top number is up, down, and positive is up. And the bottom number is left to right because that's the x number, and to the right is positive. So up 14 to the right 5. So that's number 3. Let me do number 4. So the 2 points are 12, 5, which is our first point. At least I'm making it my first point. And 6, negative 8. So I'm making that my second point. And again, you can reverse that. It's not going to make a difference. Let's plug it into the slope formula. So slope is going to be y2, which is negative 8, minus y1, which is minus 5, over x2, which is 6, minus x1, which is 12. So that's going to be negative 8 minus 5, 2 negative numbers. They will combine to be negative 13. 6 minus 12, that's going to be a negative 6. Now, technically, you should rewrite this as 13 over 6. That's the correct way, because negative divided by negative is positive. But if you keep it as negative 13 over negative 6, that's fine as well. And you can do two different interpretations. For the correct one, it should be up 13 to the right 6. But if you keep it as negative 13 over negative 6, that's fine. You'll just have to write down 13, right? Because now up, down is, the top number is up, down, and negative is down. And the bottom number is left to right, and negative is left. So down 13 to the left. Let me rewrite that so it's easier. So down 13 to the left 6. So pick or choose whichever one you want. They're both technically correct answers. I'll accept both, although the one to the right, 13 over 6, is the more correct of the two. Pause this if you need to, and let's set up for number 5, which is the last of these problems. So for number 5, you have 2 points, which are negative 3, 0, and negative 6, negative 3. So let's plug it into the slope formula. So it'll be y2, which is negative 3, minus y1, which is 0, and then x2, which is negative 6, minus x1, which is a negative 3. So it'll be negative 6 minus a negative 3. So that's going to be negative 3 minus 0 over negative 6 plus 3, which is simply negative 3 over negative 3. Yeah, that's what it comes out to be. Now, there's actually several ways you can write this. So the correct way would be to write this as just 3 over 3, because negative divided by negative is positive. But you can even write this even more simplified, because 3 divided by 3 is just 1. So you can write this as 1 over 1. That's going to be technically the best way to write this. But I'll accept all three answers. So in the first case, it'll be down 3 to the left 3. In the second case, it'll be up 3 to the right 3. And in the last case, it'll be up 1 to the right 1. And you're like, oh my God, these are all different answers. Yes and no. All of these points lie on the same line. They're technically all the different directions, but a way to get to the same place. So really depends on how you're going to go about it. So all of those three answers are acceptable as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so that's number 5. Please let me know if you have questions. Pause this, and let's go ahead and go to the back, and let's set up for the number 6. All right, for number 6, you have y equals 2x plus 3, and you're asked to find several answers or solutions for this equation. And again, it's unsolvable by its own, but what we can do is we can plug in numbers for y or x to find the other one. It's already set up in a y equals to something, so I'm not going to mess with the y. I am going to plug in numbers for the x. I like to pick my 4 numbers, which is 0, 1, negative 1, negative 1, and then 2. I do 4 numbers, but you only need to do 3. So here we go. So for the first one, which is x is 0, it'll be y equals to 2 times 0 plus 3, which is just 3. So that's easy. For the next one, which is when x is 1, so it'll be y equals to 2 times 1 plus 3. So that's just 2 plus 3, which is just 5. Then for the next one, we're going to go when x is negative 1. So y equals to 2 times negative 1 plus 3. So that's going to be negative 2 plus 3, which is just a positive 1. And for the last one, it's going to be when x is 2. So y equals to 2 times 2 plus 3, which is 4 plus 3, which is just 7. So here I gave you 4 solutions. You only need to give me 3 for full credit. But there you go. And you can do an infinite number of solutions. So that's number 6. Please let me know if you have any questions. Pause this if you need to. And let's set up for number 7. For number 7, you have y equals to x minus 5, real easy equation. Again, let's pick our 4 numbers that I like to use. You can use any numbers, but these are mine. And you're definitely welcome to use the same ones. Oh, I'm sorry, I always start with 0. So 0, 1, -1, and 2. So let's start with 0. So when x is 0, y is just going to be 0 minus 5, which is just -5. So that was nice and easy. When x is 1, y is going to be 1 minus 5, which is just a -4. So that's nice and easy. It's an easy equation. When x is -1, y is going to be -1 minus 5, combining two negative numbers, so it'll be -6, because you're adding the two negative numbers. And then for the last one, when x is 2, so y is going to be 2 minus 5, and that's just a -3. All right, that was super easy, because it was an easy equation. That's number 7. Not a whole lot else to say about it. Pause this if you need to. Now let's move on to number 8, which is a bit more interesting. So as promised, number 8 is a little more interesting. I probably should have kept this as my last problem, but it is what it is. Again, let's generate our 4 numbers that I'll use: 0, 1, -1, and 2. And let's start plugging them in. So let's start with 0. So when x is 0, you'll have, and here again, actually for this one, I'm not going to do that. Hold on a second. I don't have an x equals to or a y equals to, right? So I'm actually going to put numbers in for both. So I'm going to do a 0 for the x. I'm going to do 0 for the y. I'm going to do 1 for the x. I'm going to -1. So in a case like this, that's what I like to do. I'm going to plug in numbers for both the x and the y, because I don't have a, an x equals to or a y equals to that'll drive me to substitute for one thing or the other. So I'll do that instead. So I'm going to plug in first 0 for the x. So it'll be -4 times 0 plus 10 equals to -2y. So -4 times 0, that's gone. So now it's just 10 equals to -2y. Now I just need to get rid of the -2y. It's being multiplied, so I'll divide it to both sides. That's gone. And now y is simply going to be -5. So when x is 0, y is -5. Now let's try it when y is 0. So it'll be -4x plus 10 equals to -2 times 0. So the right side's gone. Now I just have -4x plus 10 equals to 0. First, subtract 10 from both sides. So that's going to be gone here. So now you just have -4x equals to -10. And now divide both sides by -4, because there's multiplication to get rid of it. That's gone. So x is simply going to be a fraction, but I'm going to make it into a decimal, a positive 2.5, because negative divided by negative is positive, so positive 2.5. So when y is 0, x is 2.5. Let's do the last 2 numbers as well. So when x is 0, you're going to get -4 times 1. So when x is 1, sorry, not when x is, when x is 1, equals, plus 10 equals to -2y. So it'll be -4 plus 10 equals to -2y. Now it's going to be 6 equals to -2y. Now what we want to do is divide both sides by -2 to get rid of that -2. So that's gone. So y is simply going to be a -3, because 6 divided by -2 is -3. And now for our very last one, when y is, why did I put a -1? I'm going to just do what y is a regular one. Why make it more difficult for me? There we go. So it'll be -4x plus 10 equals to -2 times 1. So it'll be -4x plus 10 equals to just -2. Let's start solving for x. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 10 from both sides. That's gone here. So it'll be negative 4x equals to negative 12. And now I just need to divide both sides by negative 4 to get rid of it. So that's gone here. And x is just going to be negative 12 divided by negative 4, which is a positive 3. All right, I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit for this so we can see all of the work. There you go. That is number 8. That was definitely the most complicated problem so far, just because it wasn't set up as an x equal to or a y equals to. And again, I probably should have made this my last problem, but let me know if you have any questions on number 8. Pause this if you need to, and let's do number 9. A much easier problem. So number 9, you have x equals to negative 3y plus 5. Again, I'm going to be plugging numbers in for the y because it's already x equals to. It's set up that way for me, at least I think so. You're more than welcome to plug in numbers for the x. You're just going to get a more painful math problem. So I'm going to choose 0, 1, negative 1, and 2, just like I've done before. So let's start with a 0. So x is going to be negative 3 times 0 plus 5, which is just 0 plus 5, which is just 5. There we go. So when y is 0, x is 5. Super simple. Now let's try it for y is 1. So x equals to negative 3 times 1 plus 5. So x is going to be negative 3 plus 5, which is just a 2. There you go. And now let's go with when y is negative 1. So x is going to be negative 3 times a negative 1 plus 5. So negative 3 times negative 1 is a positive 3 plus 5, which is just 8. So when y is negative 1, x is 8. And for our last one, we're going to try it when y is 2. So x equals to negative 3 times 2 plus 5. So negative 3 times 2 is a negative 6 plus 5, and that's just a negative 1. Much simpler. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Super, super simple. All right, so that's number 9. Please let me know if you have any questions. Pause this if you need to. And let's do number 10, our very last problem. So for 10, another easy problem. You have y equals to negative 3x plus 15. I'm going to be plugging numbers in for the x because it's y equals to. So I'll choose 0, 1, negative 1, and 2, but you can choose whatever numbers you want. So let's start when x is 0. So y equals to negative 3 times 0 plus 15, which is 0 plus 15, which is just 15. So when x is 0, y is 15. Then let's go ahead and move on to when x is 1. So y equals to negative 3 times 1 plus 15. So that's going to be negative 3 plus 15, which is just a 12. Now let's try it when x is negative 1. So y equals to negative 3 times a negative 1 plus 15. Negative 3 times negative 1 is going to be positive 4 plus 15. Ooh, that is, that's a horrible looking 5, which is going to be 19. So when x is negative 1, y is 19. For our last one, we're going to try it when x is a 2. So it'll be y equals to negative 3 times 2 plus 15, which is a negative 6 plus 15. And negative 6 plus 15 is just a positive 9. So when x is 2, y is 9. So there we go. Those are 4 solutions for number 10. Please let me know if you have any questions. Pause this if you need to. And we are done. Thank you.